What's good, y'all? Listen, quick message for you real quick. So I look at life completely different from a lot of people. I look at things from a more spiritual standpoint. Um, and so the way I look at life in general is everybody this caterpillar, right? Everybody we a caterpillar. We all look different from each other type shit. And despite the norms of life is, going to work, paying bills, and, making sure you feed your family and stuff like that, at the end of the day, I look at it like, despite those things, the mission for all of us is to get into that cocoon and become this beautiful butterfly. We are at some point in our life supposed to get into this cocoon and become this beautiful butterfly over time. And when you're in this cocoon, you go through all of these lessons and you go through all of these trials and you have to climb these mountains, and you're really going through this huge transformation. And a part of your transformation is you going through a lot of things in order to shape you and to make you into that beautiful butterfly. That's the goal. That's how I look at life. You go through your shit and you got to learn what you got to learn from those experiences. You got to first, despite the experience itself, you have to first learn that it's a lesson for you. Everything is a lesson. There's something in it that you're supposed to get that maybe you wasn't getting at one point in your life, but it's something in it that you were supposed to get. And once you learn that, for every experience that you have and for everything that you go through in your life, you no longer look at it like, damn, look at what I'm going through, like all in your feelings and shit in a negative way. You may feel a way, emotionally, depending on what it is. But for the most part, you look at it like, okay, what am I supposed to get from this shit? You feel me? But it all contributes to your transformation while you're in that cocoon so that you can become this beautiful butterfly. That's how I look at life. It's not to get so consumed and so caught up in the world to where you forget who you are. You forget your purpose. You can pay attention to all this shit. You feel me? Pay attention to it. And we all participated in a lot of ways. But the whole purpose is to not lose yourself. And the way to not lose yourself is to get into that cocoon at some point, go through that transformation in there, and become this beautiful butterfly. And through my experiences, like I look at shit completely different in ways that only a select few understand, because we all on the same level type shit. So we can, sit at a table and have these types of conversations. But I look at life completely different now. So when you see me more calm in ways that other people may not be calm about. You see me not so worried about shit in ways that other people be worried about. I just be chilling. You know what I'm saying? I get up, do what I gotta do to provide for myself and do what I gotta do for me. Focus on my health, focus on, my goals and my dreams, focus on my purpose. But I look at life completely different. I look at people completely different. Like I look at everything different. I look at nature and animals and everything just different. I don't see a lot of times in ways that a lot of other people do. You feel me? And if you know, it's not the type of video for me to go in depth about. But that's what I feel like. We all are this caterpillar. We all are caterpillars. Different shapes, sizes, colors, you know what I'm saying? different designs and shit. And at some point in our life, as we're living our life, we supposed to get into that cocoon and allow ourselves to go through the transformation, the tough transformation. Go through the experiences, go through everything that we've been facing with or been faced with in life. Like, go through those things. Face those emotions. You know, face all of that shit, because it goes towards your transformation of one day becoming that beautiful butterfly. And ever since I decided to look at life in this way, I still go through my things too. I still go through, you know, life's turbulence. You know, the storms of life. When they get to raging, I'll be feeling that shit too. But what this viewpoint for me has taught me and helped me do is to just go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? When the waves of life get to crashing, I just go with that shit. You feel me? I just go with that shit. And because I'm spiritually tapped in, I know that a lot of times I'm just sitting back, you know, holding on while I go through the ride in life. You see what I'm saying? Just hold on. Do what I can, and I'm just holding on for the rest. You feel me? And at the end of the day, it's about perspective. And for me personally, I refuse to lose myself getting caught up in things about this world that don't really matter. You feel me? Like, I refuse, because it already takes enough energetically to wake up every day. No one makes us wake up and get up out of bed. No one makes you go to that job. No one makes you go to that class. No one makes you get up and go study and all those things. It's up to you to do that. And so energetically, that already takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of times where you want to wake up and not do shit at all, but you know you got things you got to do. So I'm thankful for me being able to have this perspective on life. And me, I can honestly say, I'm still in the cocoon. I'm still in the cocoon. I feel like I'm almost out. You know what I'm saying? But it's still some transformations I got to go through. It's still a process that I have to go through. There's still some things I have to experience. But I feel like I'm almost out that cocoon. And I can't wait to see what kind of butterfly I become.